2025 was a year of seismic global shifts in politics, conflict, culture, and crisis. From historic world leaders to dramatic wars and social movements, here's our recap of the world events that defined this year. Donald Trump secured a historic political comeback in the 2024 election, becoming only the second president in United States history to win non-consecutive terms. He returned to the White House on January 20th with a mandate to implement sweeping changes, including mass deportations, increased oil production, and the imposition of new tariffs. Backed by a Republican-controlled Congress and a conservative-leaning Supreme Court, his return signals a sharp pivot toward right-wing policies and an America First agenda. President Trump initiated a massive global trade war by raising average U.S. tariff rates from 3% to approximately 17%, the highest levels since the Great Depression, while using the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to target deficits and immigration issues. These measures sparked retaliatory duties for major partners like China, Canada, and the EU, although many nations later secured lower negotiated rates or exemptions in exchange for billions in U.S. investment pledges. In 2025, the Catholic Church underwent a historic transition following the death of Pope Francis, who passed away at age 88 on April 21st due to a stroke and heart failure. After a brief conclave in May, the College of Cardinals elected Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, a 69-year-old Chicago native and close ally of Francis, as his successor. Taking the name Pope Leo XIV, he became the first ever American pontiff and has since focused his early papacy on missionary reform and curbing internal Vatican power struggles. A global wave of Gen Z uprisings saw young activists use digital platforms like Discord and TikTok to topple governments in Nepal and Madagascar while forcing major policy reversals in Indonesia and Timor-Leste. These decentralized movements were fueled by deep-seated anger over elite corruption, rising living costs, and state censorship, often adopting the one-piece Jolly Roger as a shared transnational symbol of rebellion. While some protests achieved rapid victories like the appointment of interim reformist leaders, others were met with severe crackdowns, leaving over 100 dead across the various affected nations. A major military flare-up between India and Pakistan was triggered by a deadly April 22nd terrorist attack on tourists in Pahalgam, which killed 26 people and led India to suspend the 1960 Indus Waters Treaty. The crisis escalated on May 7th when India launched Operation Cinder, a series of deep missile and drone strikes targeting militant camps in Pakistan, prompting a retaliatory air and artillery campaign from Islamabad. A fragile ceasefire was brokered on May 10th following high-level mediation by the US. On June 12, Air India Flight 171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, crashed into a medical college hostel shortly after takeoff from Ahmedabad, killing 241 people on board and 19 on the ground. Preliminary investigations revealed the crash was caused by a catastrophic loss of thrust after both engine field control switches were moved to the cutoff position just seconds into the flight. While a lone passenger in seat 11A miraculously survived, the tragedy sparked a global investigation into whether the engine failure was due to a technical glitch or a deliberate act by the crew. Also in June, a massive 12-day war erupted after Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a surprise bombing campaign that targeted over 100 Iranian nuclear, military and energy facilities while assassinating top leadership, including IRGC head Hossein Salami. Iran retaliated with unprecedented salvos of over 1,000 drones and ballistic missiles aimed at Israeli population centers and oil refineries, eventually drawing the US directly into the conflict to strike fortified nuclear sites like Fordow with bunker-buster bombs. The hostilities ended on June 24th after President Trump brokered a fragile ceasefire, leaving over 1,000 dead in Iran and 29 in Israel, while significantly degrading but not entirely eliminating Tehran's nuclear capabilities. On September 10th, U.S. conservative activist Charlie Kirk was assassinated while debating students at Utah Valley University, where he was shot in the neck by a sniper positioned on the nearby rooftop. Following a 33-hour manhunt, 22-year-old Tyler James Robinson was arrested and later charged with aggravated murder, with prosecutors announcing they will seek the death penalty for the politically motivated attack. The event triggered a national wave of reprisals and mass firings of individuals seen as celebrating the death, while President Trump posthumously awarded Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom during a massive memorial service held at State Farm Stadium. In October, a historic U.S. brokered ceasefire went into effect in Gaza following a 20-point peace plan proposed by President Trump, which mandated an immediate end to hostilities and the release of all remaining Israeli hostages. The agreement's first phase saw the release of 20 living hostages and nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners, while Israeli forces partially withdrew to a designated yellow line and pledged to allow 608 trucks per day. Despite the initial celebrations, the truce remained fragile due to hundreds of reported violations by Israel, continued Israeli control over 55% of the enclave, and unresolved disputes over the future disarmament and governance of Gaza. On October 19th, a gang of thieves disguised as construction workers used a truck-mounted furniture lift to enter a first-story window of the Louvre's Apollo Gallery in Paris, stealing 8 pieces of the French crown jewels valued at approximately 88 million euros in under 8 minutes. In their hasty escape on motor scooters, the robbers dropped the diamond-encrusted crown of Empress Eugenie in the street, while investigators later discovered that the museum's security was compromised by an outdated surveillance password, SimPlay, Louvre, and camera blind spots. By December, French authorities had arrested and charged 4 primary suspects identified through DNA evidence, though the remaining jewels have not been recovered and are feared to have been dismantled for black market sale. In October, Sanae Takaichi made history by becoming Japan's first female prime minister after her Liberal Democratic Party formed a new coalition with the Japan Innovation Party. A staunch conservative nicknamed the Iron Lady, she has focused her early term on reviving Abenomics through heavy government spending while navigating a diplomatic row with China over her support for Taiwan. In November, 34-year-old Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani won a historic victory to become New York City's first Muslim and South Asian mayor, defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo and Republican Curtis Sliwa with over 50% of the vote. Running on an aggressive affordability platform that included rent freezes and fare-free buses, Mamdani's win capped a high turnout election and signaled a major generational shift as he prepares to be sworn in on January 1, 2026. Typhoon Kalmaegi became one of the year's deadliest storms, killing at least 288 people across Southeast Asia after making multiple landfalls in the central Philippines and central Vietnam. The storm unleashed catastrophic flash floods and landslides that swept away homes, particularly devastating Cebu province, where the month's worth of rain fell in a single day. Millions were displaced and over $546 million in damages were recorded as the region braced for the subsequent arrival of Super Typhoon Fungwong. This year, the U.S. experienced its longest ever federal government shutdown, lasting 43 days from October 1st to November 12th due to a stalemate of expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies and proposed budget cuts. The crisis, which furloughed roughly 900,000 workers and disrupted food assistance for millions, finally ended after a group of 8 Senate Democrats joined Republicans to pass a stopgap funding bill that extended operations through January 30th, 2026. On November 26th, a catastrophic 5-alarm fire erupted at a Wang Food Court complex in Tai Po, killing at least 161 people and injuring dozens more in the city's deadliest blaze since 1948. The inferno was fueled by flammable bamboo scaffolding and polystyrene window boards used in a renovation project, leading to the arrest of several construction officials for gross negligence, as the city mourned the tragic loss of residents and one firefighter. In December, the U.S. Justice Department began a staggered release of hundreds of thousands of documents, including flight logs, photos of prominent figures like Bill Clinton and Mick Jagger, and FBI evidence following the passage of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. The disclosure sparked immediate controversy as lawmakers and survivors criticized the excessive redactions and the DOJ's failure to meet the full release deadline. While the Epstein Files confirmed that the FBI received a child pornography complaint against Epstein as early as 1996, early analysis suggested few major new revelations beyond previously known associations, with many sensitive names and grand jury materials remaining strictly withheld. On December 14th, a father and son duo inspired by Daesh ideology opened fire and threw pipe bombs at a Hanukkah celebration at Sydney's Bondi Beach, killing 15 people and wounding 40 others. The 50-year-old father, Sajid Akram, was killed by police at the scene, while his 24-year-old son, Naveed, was critically injured and later charged with 59 offences, including terrorism and murder. The massacre, Australia's deadliest terror attack, was marked by extraordinary acts of bravery from civilians like Ahmed Al-Ahmed, who disarmed one shooter and has triggered a nationwide push for the country's strictest gun law reforms in 30 years. From war and political revolution to historic firsts and shocking crimes, 2025 was a year that reshaped the world's narrative. As we look to 2026, these events leave a legacy of challenge and change.